Now another thing that I'm very fond of is using cheesecloth. I can buy this in the grocery store or sometimes in home improvement stores. I never know where I'm going to be able to get it or not get it. Just have to experiment. Again, just put the matte medium down. Plenty of it. The cheesecloth is totally absorbent. And then stick it on, allow a few creases if you want to, doesn't matter. And that could be painted on top really quite nicely, and you could cut off the edge obviously if you didn't want it there. As you can see, it gets displaced quite easily. Another thing that I quite often do with cheesecloth is make myself a little pot of coloured paint. So I'll put a little bit of acrylic fluid paint into a little pot with some water, and then I'll just bunch up the cheesecloth and put it in the pot and leave it there for a while, and it absorbs the colour. And then I can hang it on a cord somewhere in my studio, preferably with some newspaper underneath, and I can have lots of different colours of this, because you can't really paint just on the cheesecloth once you've got it on your painting. The paint will go through, but this way it doesn't, so it looks more interesting, more dramatic this way. But it does require some advanced procedures, so I don't always do that. Again, the cheesecloth will absorb the fluid paint, as you can see. Now, if you put down too much fluid, you lose much sense of the cheesecloth at all. Just going to blot that and get some of that out. And then you can see the cheesecloth again. One thing I often do when I'm painting is I put down a layer of matte medium onto the support first of all, and that way the paper isn't absorbing the paint, and if I want to wipe the paint off, it's like wiping it off a piece of plastic. It comes off quite easily. So you can see quite clearly now how the cheesecloth is absorbing some of the transparent yellow iron oxide, making it very dark, but it all appears very random, which is a very nice effect as far as I'm concerned. I could use a dark colour too. So it sort of pools in some places, and I didn't dry the transparent yellow iron oxide, so there's a little bit of greeny effect. But all of a sudden, something which appeared invisible on the paper originally has become quite prominent and creates a really nice effect. If you do this too soon in your piece and you want to stick text on the top, you've got a problem, because you're going to stick it on the cheesecloth, and cheesecloth isn't necessarily going to hold it very well. You're going to cover the cheesecloth. So this sort of effect is best left till later in the painting.